G'day guys, g'day again. Hey, just in regards to my last post, when you do say no to these criminals, they will try to get forceful. Okay, the best thing to do is just to smile and just say, look, I appreciate your professionalism and appreciate you accepting our choice of no, and I appreciate you not trying to break our consent, and I appreciate the fact that you understand no means no. They will keep pressuring you, and you just say, hey, let us think about it. You don't have to make a decision on the day. Say, we need to think about it. We will get back to you. They might say, oh, we'll book you in for an appointment. We'll call you. Say, no, we will call you. Because, these criminals, they can be very, very persuasive. Just remember, they get trained every day by the leaders at their institutions to break your consent, but you do not go to school to learn how to say no to the medical monster. That's a fact, okay? So today's second post is about a few political issues. My goal is to stop obstetric violence and other crimes against pregnant women. Okay, and if anybody does support those kind of crimes, please explain why. And if no, between now and the Queensland state elections, October 26, 2024, it's a special day for me and my wife Cherry. It's the day that our boy Skipper Jr. went to heaven. So yeah, between now and the election, what are you going to do about it? So first post is about health. So every man, woman, grandparent, parent, any person who lives in Queensland, the system is totally broken. It is so bad, it's unbelievable. It can't be fixed, it's unfixable. And we're still getting problems with unelected officials, people that are selected, and this is how the obstetric violence comes into it, because there's no accountability. Obstetric violence against pregnant women, birth trauma, they're all going through the roof. The current leaders have known this for a very long time. They all know about it and they're doing nothing about it. So it's time for new leaders. This is why I'm personally promoting this. Number two, so one reason to vote for anybody but Liberal and Labor is health. Number two, never ever Liberal, Labor, Nationals, never again. The budget, the economy. Any leader who leaves Queensland in debt, even for $1, okay, is a follower, not a leader. Year after year, broken promise after broken promise, crime after crime, bad job after bad job, excuse after excuse. Labor and Liberal, the two-party, the dodgy preferred system, over time that's left us Queenslanders in billions of dollars of debt and facing a horrible situation for the next generation. Why? We are such a prosperous state. Why are we in debt? Okay, it's not your fault, the people, it's the leaders, okay? Possibly more interested in lining their own pockets than helping the people. That's a very, very good point. But it's a total mismanagement of funds, and it's intentional. So the Treasury, who are they acting in the best interest of? Their stakeholders and their foreign investors and the corporations, or the people of Queensland? And that's my question to them. Between now and the state election, Queensland, October 26, what are you going to do about it? Because up until now, year in, year out, we're in billions of dollars of debt we don't have to be in. And we hear this excuse, oh, but we've got a good GDP, but you're mismanaging funds. Let's face it, you've done a bad job, pack your bags, go. Number three, farming and agriculture. Two major monopoly supermarket giants, like the Liberal Labor two-party giants, they're foreign corporations. They take all profits overseas. Don't shop there, don't go there. Local farmers need our support. An example, local farmers get $2 a kilo for capsicums. They sell them at the shops for $7 a kilo. I know everybody has to make profit, but the big supermarkets are a joke. If farmers speak out, their orders get dropped from like 100 pallets to 10 pallets, and they got 90 pallets rotting away. The government knows this. They don't do nothing about it. They'll probably start talking about it now because it's election time, but hey, it's too late. You've stuffed Queenslanders around for many, many years. Pack your bags, get your stuff, move on, hang your shoes up now while you've got dignity, because it's not going to get any better. You've let the people down. This current government does support criminal activity, and they do run a monopoly, and they support obstetric violence against pregnant women. That's a fact. If you don't like it, have a loving public debate, have a tea or coffee, shake hands at the end, let the public decide, because that's who votes. Number four, education. These leaders need to tell the truth. Okay, our children are being lied to. Stop intentionally lying and manipulating education. Facts. Lieutenant Cook was sent to Australia by the British Defence Force to look for new land because they ran out. He had orders to invade and genocide and kill. Okay? He is not the captain of a boat. In actual fact, he is completely useless at sailing. Okay? People have sailed replica boats quicker than this guy ever did, and he probably had more favourable conditions. So, number one, he is a lieutenant, he's from the Defence Force, and he wasn't sent here on a mission of, oh wow, let's go explore and find new land. He was sent here to take the land and genocide, and that he did. Estimates from the First Nations people, senior law circles and the elders, are 500,000 people genocided, and that also includes the Europeans that were here already when the British got here. Surprise, surprise, it's the same government today, Liberal Labor two-party. So you've had your time, you're not doing a good job, you've put us in debt, the next generation's staring down the barrel of a bad prospect of a future. Pack your bags, move on, let somebody else take control and run the country better. But let's not lie to our kids, tell them the truth. And yeah, look, I've actually personally got stuff that's evidence of this. If anybody wants to debate that this Lieutenant Cook was the first person that discovered Australia, hey, we'll go back in history. Public debate will be fun. Next up, 5, decision making without consent. This leadership style is called, or it's a dictator style or a communist style of leadership. It's not right. Aussies all voted no for a voice to Parliament. Current Queensland and federal leaders, like state and federal, against the wishes of the people of Queensland and against the wishes of the people of Australia, have initiated and coerced these treaties with political or politicians, like even First Nations politicians. We love you, nothing against you, but when the people voted no and you went behind their backs, it's disrespectful. Okay, you can't be trusted. So these treaties are invalid, they're repugnant, they're disrespectful, and they're non-binding. The only treaties that can be done with the actual elders and the senior law circle, everybody knows that. So the political treaties that you do, come on guys, like it's 2024, it's not 1824. We got to do things right by the books. So it's fraud. And look, we can publicly debate it because everybody has the right to their own opinion, and I'm just going by the laws of Queensland and the laws of Australia, because we all need to do the right thing, because the goal is to stop obstetric violence against pregnant women and address these issues of all Queenslanders. Stop illegal fines, fees, charges, taxes, and stop all the money leaving Queensland immediately, okay? October the 26th is the deadline because that's our, voting day, but the High Court of Victoria recently ruled in regards to electric vehicles. They were trying to charge the people that own electric vehicles some sort of a tax, okay? And they ruled that the states aren't allowed to do it. Only the federal government can charge the taxes. So it's the same as Queensland. You get all this money from royalties, taxes, mining, rego, everywhere. That's why the cost of living is so dear. So let's just be truthful and honest. Who authorised or gave permission to use the Spur Treasury money, the fine money, for medical human experiments in Cairns and 50-cent bus fares? Who gave permission? Because Queenslanders did not vote on that. So between now and October 26, how about come out and tell all Queenslanders who gave permission and why? And how is that going to help the homeless people, and how is that going to help the cost of living? And I did see that lots of people are catching buses, which is positive, and public transport, but still, what's that doing for the people that are paying $2 a litre for petrol? Because, if it's fair, it's got to be fair for everybody. The next one, banks in Australia borrow the money off the international banks and then, loan the money out at a higher rate. And this is also putting cost of living through the roof and stuffing it up for the next generation, and it's just going to make it not a good place to live in. It's going to be like $4 million for a small block of land and a tiny little unit, and Queenslanders don't want that. We want a home for the next generation. So please stop using the money irresponsibly and recklessly, okay? We are a beautiful country, beautiful state. I believe we've got the best state in Australia and the best country in the world. Why can't the leaders make a profit with all the resources we got? And in my opinion, we're all entitled to opinion, if you can't make a profit with the resources we got, please just pack your bags and move, leave with a bit of dignity, because you have to have the next generation in mind, because you're going to leave Queensland a horrible place for the next generation. Number 8, foreign corporations and unelected persons and gangs with bad intentions. Why are we sending money away from Queensland? Why are we sending money overseas, offshore? Why? Keep the money here for the next generation. Don't make overseas foreign corporations and unelected officials rich. Make the country, the state rich. So the next leaders should have a rule: no business with foreign corporations, especially the unelected ones like, the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, and all these different dodgy foundations. These people do not take responsibility. The World Health Organization supports obstetric violence and other crimes against pregnant women. That's a fact, okay? If they'd like to disagree with it, once again, have a loving public debate, cup of tea or coffee, shake hands at the end, let the public decide. But they know about the crimes, and they choose to do nothing about them, and they've intermingled their way into our politics and our laws and our state, but they're not accountable. They don't even have an office in Queensland. So they do these crimes, and then you go to ring them up and they're like, oh, but we don't have an office, we don't have a phone number, but they're making laws and they're not even living in Queensland, they're not even residents. I mean, come on, kick these guys out. If they want to get involved in laws or politics or being a Queenslander, at least be a permanent resident over here so you can be held accountable. Because you come over here and you do the crimes against the Queenslanders and you train the medical staff to do the crimes, but you're not held accountable because you're not even a resident, you're not even Australia, you don't even have an office in Queensland. It's ridiculous, pathetic. So yeah, if you really want to do these crimes over here, at least you should register. First of all, get your residency. Second of all, register a business. So we've got a phone number and a place to call. And then somebody is accountable, because at the moment you're not. And once again, loving debate if you want. Number 9, independent watchdog for all levels of government, state and federal, overseen by the body of people. Now, these are elected people, not politicians and not people put in place. So currently there's no accountability. We need to separate law, justice, government, politics. No mainstream media. I mean, come on. Does a reporter from a mainstream media company really have a professional opinion on anything when they're reading from a computer screen? And they're getting told what to read. It's even funnier, okay? It's horrible. And also, the ads that they're brainwashing with and all of this stuff, vote this, vote this, vote this, but it's the same year in, year out. And it always comes about election time when they want to be re-elected or voted in, and they do nothing the whole other time. It's a little bit amusing, but our next generation is going to have such a bad time if we don't do something about it. So it's our responsibility to do something about it now, or the next generation is going to be having $4 a litre petrol and twice as much homelessness. Number 10, if we don't act now, the debt's going to double to many, many billions of dollars, and the next generations are going to be totally stuffed up, our kids, our grandkids, and it's going to be a horrible place to live. And it's such a beautiful place. I love all the people, including all the immigrants, but immigration has to be done correctly. It's got to be done at the right time with the right people. Bringing hundreds of thousands of people in this year already and expected to be voted back in, come on. All right, there's homeless people out there. People can't afford rent or mortgage, and you're bringing all the people in. And we love the immigrants, but there's a right time and a right place. So time to hang the boots up. Never vote Liberal or Labor or Nationals again. We need new leaders that can do the job, because we don't want homelessness. We want our kids to have the same opportunities we had. A funny little fact, the public system wage growth is through the roof, year in, year out. But the private sector is going down, 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 down. And once again, I actually have the correct stats on me. Would love a loving public debate with anybody that wants to talk about it, because I can show you your own stats. And that will be funny. But I'll enjoy it, because I love people, I love everybody, and I love a good debate. So 2024, October 6, we need to vote a new government in because what's going to happen is this. The money that we're in billions of dollars debt in, it's not free. We pay interest on it. So everything goes up, okay? So the cost of petrol, the cost of living, the cost of houses, the cost of land, the cost of taxes, regos, everything, food. Because why are we in debt if we're such a good state? How do the so-called leaders put one of the most successful states in Australia and one of the best places in the world into ridiculous debt for nothing? And then they argue, oh, but the GDP is good, you know, if we keep on growing, we'll pay it back in no time. Why are you borrowing money? What are you doing with all our money? And the billions of dollars that you got sitting in all of these different accounts, why don't you pay that back for the debt and stop borrowing money? Because Queenslanders didn't want to borrow money. Politicians wanted to borrow money. Lastly, guys, just a friendly reminder, we've got a snake with two heads. So Liberal, Labor, the same party. What I personally don't think is fair, if a person doesn't rock up to vote for any reason, or if the voting machine counter can't read their vote, it goes to, I guess, whoever was voted in last time. That's unfair, because I've had people reach out to me and say, I couldn't be bothered voting because it's fraudulent, like the whole system's broken and can't be fixed. And we all know it's broken, but everybody needs to get out and vote on October 26th. You can't have the attitude, I'm not going to vote, because if we all get out and vote and we all hold everyone accountable, and even if people out there don't think that the voting system is good, like the digital electronic one, maybe post your vote on your party's page that you vote for. Say how you voted for 1 to 10, with this party being first and these ones being last, or I voted for this one. That way people can look around and get a fair tally of it, and it's all done legally, honestly and ethically. Because you don't need to break the law if you're doing the right thing. And if you do the right thing every time, no matter what, you got nothing to worry about. And you can, we have free speech. We can say what we want in a loving manner, because we all want a better future for all Queenslanders and the next generations. But we do need an independent review of all of the voters. So if people are too old to vote, they might be at the stage of their life where they're not feeling like they're mentally up for voting, or they might have moved out of the state, they might have passed away. It's up to the Electoral Commission to make sure that these votes do not go to the two-party preferred system, because it's not fair, in my opinion. You need to meticulously research your records and make sure that only voting people that actually can vote, not dead people, not people that aren't qualified to vote, or not people that have moved out of the state, because every vote does count. And I encourage everybody on October the 26th to get out, show your support for the better future of Queensland. We can't have what's happening last year, the year before, the year before that, the year before that, the year before that, because next year petrol will be $4 a litre, a Big Mac will be $25, a lettuce will be $16, and a watermelon will be $48. It's ridiculous. And it all comes back to this mismanagement of funds, because if we weren't in debt, we wouldn't be paying interest, and taxes wouldn't be so high, everything wouldn't be so expensive, and also wages, it does seem unfair that the public system wages go up, and the private system's going down. And it's a fun debate, because we use the stats that you guys put up there. Lastly, guys, we've got 93 electorates we can all make a difference in. Okay, and we do know, and this is a fact, and love a public debate, but the current government, Labor, Liberal, they know about the obstetric violence, they know about the crimes against pregnant women, they choose not to do anything about it. The senators know, the politicians know, statewide, federal-wide, the law enforcement knows, the justice system knows. They all choose to do nothing about it, because it is up to us, the people. We really need to show our support for the women, the men, the families, the children, and we need to support them, because they do prey on these people. It's the truth, and they need our support as Queenslanders. And love you all, and think about it before you go and vote. Were you happy with what the leaders did last year, the year before, the year before that, the year before that? Do you think it's fair that we're hundreds of billions of dollars in debt, and that we didn't borrow the money, and the leaders borrowed on our behalf, and we're paying interest for it, which makes our cost of living go through the roof? You can say what you want about all this GDP stuff and whatever, but it's all a bunch of rubbish. Irresponsible mismanagement of funds. If Queensland is $1 in debt at the end of the year, it's a total mismanagement of a good opportunity. We need new leaders, we really do. So yeah, g'day to all. Thanks for listening, and please Like and share, and if you know anybody that's pregnant, share it round, because we really do not want what happened to Cherry happening to anybody else in the public or private sector. It's totally preventable, and these criminals do need to be held to account and called out. And have a great day. Bye.